Hello and welcome, heroes, to the Crit Academy. I am your host, Justin.
I'm your co-host, Brandon.
I'm your co-host, Ian.
This podcast was created to provide you, our heroes, with new and reusable material for both players and DMs.
We hope to inspire you with creative content that you can bring with you on your next adventure.
Our show may not be suitable for young children, but neither is our D&D games.
No, not at all.
No.
This is where I insert the paid advertisement, which you guys don't have to listen to.
Curse up the storm.
Thanks for joining us today here at Thanks for joining us here today at Crit Academy Studios, where everything's made up and your roles don't matter.
Yep, that's right. Your roles are like fighting you. My Santa. I can't pronounce that.
Lycanthrope.
That word. You do it.
Why don't you take it?
Yep, that's right. Your roles are like fighting a lycanthrope without silvered weapons.
Yeah, it doesn't go over very well generally. I remember my first experience with a lycanthrope.
I don't know if you've ever seen it, but there's a sketch on Robot Chicken where this guy's getting attacked by a werewolf, and he shoots him with a pistol, and he goes, only a silver bullet can kill me, and he takes out a chain gun, and starts blowing holes through. He's like, oh shit.
That's funny. Yep. We like to start off every show off on a high note. We like to start off every show by giving away fat loot, compliments of our sponsor, Goblin Stone. Goblin Stone. Brandon, who's our winner today?
Our winner today is Thomas Home Repair. I swear to God, that's an inserted ad.
What? No, it's not. Actually, that's a friend of mine.
Thomas Home Repair.
Yeah, he is one of the admins over at Game Master Stash. I actually have a shorter one now that I edited and cut down to like 15 seconds. We got a really great show for you guys today. We will be continuing the different archetypes for Matt Mercer's Blood Hunter. That'll be the Lycanthrope and the Profane Soul. We got a great show for you guys today. We got a question in regards to Swashbuckler Kenkus from Crystal F. Our main topic today, we will be continuing the Blood Hunter archetypes, the Profane Soul, and the Lycan, the Oath of the Lycan, the Order of the Lycanthrope.
Lycanthrope.
Yeah,
Lycanthrope.
I think it's actually technically only Lycan.
Lycanthrope.
And the Order of the Lycan. And of course, we have our Honor Tips and Tricks, where we bring you new and reusable material for you to bring with you on your next adventure.
And hello, Taylor.
Hey, Tate. Welcome to the party, bro.
It was you're back in New York.
Yeah. Glad you made it back safe. You
Yeah.
didn't, burn or anything like that, so that's awesome. But before all that, we spent a few minutes talking about what's going on in our realm. Ian, what's going on in your realm?
Well, I took a lot of attempts, but I played Keyforge for the first time on this past Saturday.
Oh, yeah? How'd that go?
Do you want me to start at the beginning?
2 minutes.
No problem. I hope.
2 minutes and 40 seconds.
At
1 minute, 40 seconds.
And you're burning it and you know it. I saw there was a tournament going on at the Stadium in Frankenmuth, and the rule there was like, okay, let's see what the rules are. All right, you play 4 rounds, and you play 4 different decks. Sounds straightforward enough. I go there, and I show up early. Turns out they sold out of all their decks. It's like, that doesn't do me any good. So I ended up calling around, just in the area in general, to see who actually still has them in stock.
Mm-hmm.
All the game stuff I called were out.
Damn.
But then by sheer dumb luck, I decided to call Barnes & Noble for some reason. They actually had that crap ton in stock. So I drove from Frankenmuth to Flint, bought 6 packs, went back to Frankenmuth, waited for the tournament to start. I was the only guy who showed up for the tournament.
You're the only person?
Winner by default.
Hey, at least you win.
And I thought, like, well, this doesn't work. But I knew there was another tournament going on 1 hour later at 2 o'clock down at Great Escape Games in Flint. So I drove down there. Do you know how fun it is to drive through traffic on a Saturday in December through Frankenmuth and Birch Run?
Probably a pain in the ass, I'd imagine.
I finally get there at 1:55. And that was like guy 8, so I'm like, okay, it seems straightforward enough. So I jumped in, picked 1 deck for that tournament, and played throughout the game. And I apparently did not choose wisely because I got stomped most.
That's how it goes.
And I everything did I get the deck to work great. And the few big plays I did play, most of them hurt me as much as my opponent, if not more, kind of thing.
What's this game?
Keyforge.
Keyforge. It's becoming really popular right now because it's not a deck you build. It's a deck you purchase and you play as is, which means it's not. There's no meta, right? There's no meta, which
Is every
makes it
deck different?
Yes.
Every deck is different.
Oh,
It's procedurally generated.
By algorithm.
Yeah, which makes it interesting because one of the problems I stopped playing Magic is it becomes a money pit, right?
I think Keyforge can become that too, though, because there are apparently some metas, but the app's kind of nice, though. And I'm kind of curious to see where they go with the app, because each deck has its own QR code, and you scan it into the app, and you basically have all the decks you have and all the cards that are in each deck. So, yeah.
So you can kind of look through them without having to have your deck count in hand.
Right.
That's
and
pretty convenient.
You can even click on the card and it'll pull it up.
Very cool.
All right, so after all that, what's going on in your realm, Brandon?
I got a new job.
So
Why is that funny?
I kind of want to just take that word that little segment there and put it in every episode.
Well, fuck you, man.
I kid. What do you be doing?
I'm gonna be running a CNC. It's kind of like lathe, but in 3 dimensions instead of 2.
Neat.
That sounds pretty cool.
And it's also very wanted skill
Okay.
right now.
It's like 3D printing, only backwards.
Yeah, I'll be making what was it called? Brake rotors.
Very cool.
From Raw Forge.
I hope it's not with GM.
It is not. It's a place over here off of Pearson Road.
Okay.
And it's really neat. It's a very clean plant. They don't use coolant for their machines.
That sounds like sorcery.
I think I told you that before, and it's really weird because it is machining, taking parts off of the metal, and I was like, oh, okay, I don't know how that works. But they got a bunch of cool incentives, and I'll be making more money.
Well, that's
right
cool.
now they're
Congratulations.
right now they're 6 to 7 days, and I'll be going back to 3rd in a week. But 6 to 7 days is out of the ordinary. It's because of the time of the year.
Gotcha.
People buy more cars in the winter?
Yes.
Brake rotors, pads.
Oh, you got to replace them for the
preparation
winter.
for that.
Yeah.
And then it'll go back down to 5 days. They usually have 8 hours overtime. But
And
that's going to be great.
Actually, some of the biggest car sales are done December at the end of the year, so.
Okay.
Because I'll be able to actually have my nights off and get back in the drawing again.
What's that like?
And come play D&D with us.
I may actually be able to do that too.
You and your wife can come. Bring the kids. We'll put them up over here to do something. I'll put something on the projector.
Yeah.
I say that, but I'm planning on putting the projector in the room, the house this week.
Yep.
Well, that was my big news. What about you?
Not a whole lot. Our book is doing pretty decent. I'm pretty happy with it. Obviously, if you purchase our book, our Honor Tips and Tricks book, you can find a link on critacademy.com. That takes you to DM's Guild. Please do us a favor and write a review. The reviews help drive your location on the priority list as well as purchases, and also helps give some insight into to our product. There was DM Dango did an actual YouTube video on ours and gave us a 4 out of 5 stars.
Nice.
So that was pretty dope. But aside for that, I just started, we were just talking about Keyforge. I started playing a little bit of Magic the Gathering. The Magic Arena is pretty cool. I guess when you I bought one of the pre-constructed decks, and it came with like a code that allows me to unlock that deck in the game, which is pretty sweet.
Oh, that's a nice touch.
Is that all platforms, or is it just like PCs on Steam?
Right now,
or
it's
something?
just PC, and it's not on Steam. It's a PC program.
Oh.
I don't know if that'll change, because I know the other ones were for mobile apps, but since they suck, probably nobody played them. But I'm really enjoying this one. I think they really got the touchdown. It's pretty dope. And then the other thing is, I've been spending a lot more time on Twitch and streaming games and stuff. Right now I'm playing Fable. So if you come and watch me when I play Fable, I'm actually letting the audience pick some of a lot of the options that help build out whether you're evil or good. So that's pretty interesting. So you can come join me at twitch.tv/critacademy. Also been playing the new Path of Exile expansion, which is pretty dope. So I can't recommend that enough. If you're looking for Diablo 4, it's called Path of Exile. So that's what's going on in my realm.
I kind of wish would just pick one digital Magic game and just stick with it.
Well, the other ones suck, so they had to keep trying. That was the
best.
problem. I mean, I loved Magic, and I could not get into the Duel of the Planeswalkers.
But
They just suck.
But you get what I'm saying, too.
Yeah, this one I think will stick. I really do. I came back to it, and it's got a Hearthstone meets Magic feel, and I think they nailed it. So
Tate says, I will within the next 2 weeks. I'm gonna give 5 stars, 1 for each copy I bought.
Thanks, Tate. Yes, please do that as soon as you can. I know I've talked to a lot of people that have purchased it, but nobody's written a review, so please do that. So that's what's going on in our realm. Brandon, if they'd like to visit other realms, how can they do that?
They can visit our website at greatacademy.com, where they'll find a link to Audible, and you can get a 30-day free trial there, plus a free audiobook when you join.
Woohoo! Yeah.
God, that's become like engraved in my brain.
Good, it should. Kind of off the show, I'll cut this out, but I've been pushing the affiliate stuff. I've been going through the people we've had on the show and tagging our show and everything, and people that listen to our show have been using our affiliate links. That's not very much, but we made like $12
Neat.
this month, which is a lot on affiliate links when you consider most of them are like 10 cents. So thank everyone for that. That's pretty dope.
Yeah, thanks, guys.
Congratulations, you paid for Brandon's gas to get here once.
Yeah, all we gotta do is start buying our books so we can get some print-on-demand copies.
I know. We
really want to print-on-demand copies.
Yeah, so do I. Well, if I can't get it, I'm just gonna go pay for it. I'll pay $50 and I'll get it. I'll have somebody print it off professionally.
So you could probably just go to take the PDF to Kenku's and be like, I want this cover.
That's something like that. It's like $40 to do that. $50. All right. So definitely check that out. I love Audible. I listen to it every single day. So
before we get to the actual question, I gotta ask, what is a swashbuckler Kenku?
Kenku? A Kenku is a bird person who can't talk but can only mimic other people.
That's right.
And the swashbuckler is the stupid ass rogue that can run and hit people and run away and not have no punishments. I mean, most rogues can do that, but I think the swashbuckler doesn't need an ally to get sneak attack, right?
Nope.
And they can just run away without having to use the... Wait, do you still have to use the disengage?
No,
it's just part of your...
Yep.
Yeah, so they can run, stab, get their sneak attack, and run away.
It's
Is there any special trait for the Kenku?
No.
No, it's just a race.
It's just a swashbuckler. The race thing is the Kenku can't talk. It has to do repeating. It has to repeat somebody.
It's a parrot.
Yes.
Okay.
It's a skilled parrot.
That's funny. It's a swashbuckling parrot.
I didn't even think about that. That's hilarious. All right, so in our Let's Talk About Blank segment, we have a question from Crystal F. Any advice on how to play a swashbuckler Kenku? I'm struggling with the mimicry part most, and I don't want to just toss the rule out. We're currently playing through Waterdeep. First of all, that's hilarious. Brandon just pointed out that it's a Kenku's pretty much a parrot, and it's a pirate parrot, and that's hilarious.
Well, they look like crows, but yeah.
Well, but still, they copy you like a parrot, you
right?
know? And I think that's very ironic.
Is it just vocal that copy, or can they mimic motions too?
Just
motions?
Vocals.
You mean noises?
Just vocals. No, can they mimic like the movements of an enemy?
No.
No, it's just voice.
Just voice.
Yep.
I wonder, they could probably do noises though.
To a degree.
Like clicking and stuff. So I first I want to give my thoughts on this, and then I would like to hear your guys's. I just ran a game with Gabe from Interparty Conflict. He was actually a player, and I was a player that was being run by his co-host Jeff, and he played a Kenku. And if you're having trouble with the mimicry, what he did, and I think was awesome, is he was constantly writing down things that we as players said. And then he would like say, my character says in Char's voice, and it would be a line that I had said previously during the game. And he managed to mix and match the stuff so well to the point that it didn't make sense, but you understood what he was saying. And it was hilarious. It brought so much hilarity to the game. So yes, it is a little bit more work on the player who's the Kenku, but if you can do that, it gets hilarious when you just start grabbing random shit that somebody said to acknowledge what somebody else said. It's fantastic. And as for the swashbuckler part, that's pretty simple. I mean, it's a hit and run build. That's you hit, you run. Maybe find one good quote from somebody that's an insult, and like every time you dash in and thrust and hit them, you dash away saying I need a one-liner that you've heard from somebody that's super popular.
Kick him in the nards.
You killed my father, prepare to die.
Yeah, see, there's a good one. In something like that, like or you could do your own Arnold Schwarzenegger impersonation, and when you run, you assault him with your sneak attack. I'll be back. He runs away. Oh my god, I think that would be fantastic. What do you guys think?
You know, I've always wondered about how like the mechanism speaking, like in game, it can be like, Kenku, why are you so articulate for a Kenku? I may have wrote down a list of phrases and told people to say, read this.
Oh, that's genius. That is so genius. Having your character write something out and then asking somebody to read it and then just saying in Brandon's voice.
Like, that's one thing about Big Mouth Kenku, like, they can't speak, but they can still write and have any other intelligence capacities. That makes no sense to me!
Right. Well,
Hola, Minamo S. Brian. Well, that's pretty good, but you don't have to say S. You can just say Minamo Brian. You can speak English? No, just that sentence and the one I'm speaking now. Are you serious? Okay.
Is that from
Family Guy?
Family Guy? I thought that something like that happened in something else. Maybe that was it. But yeah, it's a pretty simple thing. I love use movie quotes, write down characters. One of my favorite things to do when I did like the Punisher character is I went through and like copied a bunch of stuff from some of my favorite movies, like Arnold Schwarzenegger's Mr. Freeze, right? I went through and I copied down those quotes and I had those as a list ready to go. So I recommend you do the same. It'll be a little bit of work, but once you start getting a list and start categorizing your responses, you can spit them out pretty quick, especially when it becomes like the same response all the time. So that is our advice, Crystal. We hope we answered your question today. If we didn't, please send an email to the complaint department with a check attached, and we will make sure to read it.
Have we ever received the check yet?
No. They're lost in the mail. What is it? Tate says, sounds just like the show.
Yep. Yeah.
Are we like a Kenku? We do repeat I do repeat myself a lot.
All right, Kenku. I do repeat myself a lot.
What's that?
What's that?
Oh god.
I
fucking hate you guys. Oh, I gotta stop hitting the table.
I gotta stop hitting the table.
Shut up.
Don't you do it. I'll stop. Okay, fine.
Yeah, that's right. I fucking turned off your mic. What now, asshole?
I can still use yours.
Joke's on you. You got chicks level again.
Oh god.
Never mind. Moment lost in delay.
Oh my god, I fucking burnt my hand just before the show and it hurts like hell. So I putting up I have a air conditioner area and I was sealing it with some plastic and I was using a heat gun and I avoided burning Alicia, and when I pulled it over I pulled it right into my hand and burnt myself. I should have just burned her stupid coat and bought her a new coat because my hand hurts like hell. So moving on to our main topic, we are Part 2 of our Matt Mercer's Blood Hunter class analysis, where we break down his class and kind of give our thoughts on it. The last two archetypes that we'll be doing is the Profane Soul and the Order of the Lycan. So, Brandon, would you like to tell us what the Order of the Profane Soul is?
The Order of the Profane Soul. The magics adopted by the wayward blood hunter prove formidable against any evil across the realm. However,
across the realm, sorry.
There's an emblem.
Why does that keep vibrating?
I don't know.
Hang on a second. Oh, it's this.
Yeah,
okay, there we go. I got it. Start over.
Damn it.
Sorry.
The magics adopted by the wayward blood hunter prove formidable against any evil. God damn it, it's in my face.
I'm used to you having your own notes. I'm sorry.
You totally look off your screen.
I said you could, and so you had to.
The magics adopted by the wayward blood hunter prove formidable against any evil. God damn it. This is your fault. You're smiling at me.
I wasn't smiling, and my hand hurts. I fucking burned it. Like it's like blistering right now. I'm afraid if it pops, I'm gonna take a shot in the eye.
That's gnarly. Okay, one more time. The magics adopted by the wayward blood hunter prove formidable against any evil across the realm. However, the darkest of abominations draw from the ancient well of cruel, unfathomable power. These terrors can control shadows to do their bidding. That is a comment, isn't it? These terrors can control shadows to do their bidding, hide in plain sight among the noblest of nobles, and bend the minds of the most stalwart warrior with but a glance. These fiends are far trickier to hunt, and many lost their lives in pursuit of such wickedness. A small sect of hunters delved into this well of corrupting arcane knowledge, making pacts with the lesser evils to better combat the greater threats.
That sounds dope as hell, doesn't it?
Yep.
I lost it. Where is it at? Oh, there it is. Profane Soul. So
London?
what is Ian? When they choose this archetype at 3rd level, what is the big feature that they get?
Well, they pretty much do what the Eldritch Knight does for the wizard, but they only do it with warlocks. They gain spells, they gain patrons, they gain cantrips.
Eldritch Knight? You mean warlock?
That's what I said.
Yeah, he said that.
I said what the fuck there is to the wizard with the Eldritch Knight. This is the Blood Hunter to the warlock.
Ah, got you. Yeah, you're very right. You get access to a otherworldly patron, which is very similar to the same options that are applied to the warlock, which is like the Archfey, the Fiend, and the Great Old One. What kind of benefits do you get when you choose this pact?
Like I said, you get warlock magic, so you get cantrips, which probably means you get Eldritch Blast.
That definitely seems true. Yeah, it does say you learn from warlock list.
Yep.
Right?
Yep.
And it looks like you have about as many spell slots as a warlock.
Less, actually, and that's saying something, because you only have... The max you ever get is 2 spell slots.
Oh, jeez. I mean, good thing you got your rights, I guess, and enhancing your blade with a fiery demonic power.
Ooh, and the slot level only goes up to 4.
Wow, so it really doesn't... It definitely doesn't get as powerful as, like, a pure caster.
But you're also not a pure caster.
Right.
Good thing for...
For sure. It looks like you get your wisdom modifier is your spell save and your modifier for your spells, which is really cool.
Yeah, instead of charisma.
So just like with all the other so when you make this pact with your when you make a pact with this creature, do you see your character often trying to communicate with this patron or being something far off in the distance?
I think most people kind of picture it off as far off in the distance, because once you make the contract...
Yeah, I guess then nobody, as long as you're following the contract.
Yeah.
You think the contract would ever come into play?
You would hope so.
Yeah, that'd be a good one. What other features do they get access to at 3rd level there, Brandon?
Where the hell am I? Oh, right there, yeah. Let's see if we can get through. Your weapon becomes a core to your pact. What?
So you gotta start with the actual.
Oh yeah, the actual thing. You get right focus.
That's pretty cool.
R-I-T-E, right.
Yeah.
Yeah. Your weapon becomes a core to your pact with your chosen dark patron. While you have it active right, you can use your weapon as a spellcasting focus.
That's cool.
But wait, there's more.
And your chosen pact also enhances your right.
Yeah, and you've got quite a few options here for each of the different patrons across multiple books, not just the player's handbook.
Yep.
The first one appears to be the Archfey. If you deal right damage to a creature, that creature loses any half or 3/4 cover bonus, as well as invisibility until the beginning of your next turn.
Sucker.
So how does that work like flavor wise? Why are they losing their
magic?
Well, the Archfey is very magic. They're magical beings, right?
So are you like slashing through through the object then? Like a lot of fey creatures can like teleport and stuff?
Well, if you deal damage to a creature, they lose that ability. So I imagine that when you actually hit them, your blade leaves behind a shining aura, so you always know where they're at.
Damn, that's a good answer.
Yeah.
Brandon, Ian, what's the next one there?
Well, the next one is the Fiend. And while you're using your right up to flame, if you roll a 1 on your right damage die, you may re-roll that die. You may re-roll only once per attack. That could add up pretty fast.
Well, so this is a really good one. This is kind of similar to like the Great Weapon Fighter, right? Where you can increase your die roll.
That's fiendish.
And that definitely assumes you picked a flame, right?
Oh yeah, it does say if it's the Rite of Flame.
Yep.
Which means you that is fiendish. That's funny. So I can kind of see this as I swing my blade and the burning kind of instantaneously bursts, gives like a sudden burst of power for
Yeah.
just an instant as you strike.
I was thinking like you hit and it's just a little spark and like no, that's not enough, and you come back and it just blows up in their face.
Yeah, I kind of feel like in those shows where you're in the saber lock and you just see somebody just all of a sudden gets the advantage and they get some sort of leverage or kind of push it a little harder and get a little more oomph to it.
God, I miss Jedi Academy.
It's like giving them a little more giving it a little more juice.
Giant Academy was a pretty good game.
Fucking love Jedi Academy. We put so many hours into that game. We had our own server. We had our own clan. It was awesome.
Neat.
We were the forces of chaos.
I wonder if we can find that game again.
You can. It's on
Steam.
I have it. Yeah. Do you want to take the next one?
The great old one. Let's see. Whenever you deal a critical hit to a creature, that creature must make a Wisdom saving throw against your spell save DC. On failure, that creature is frightened of you until the end of your next turn.
That's pretty dope. That's almost a free frighten on critical.
It's expected of Cthulhu.
That's pretty cool. Like because I think you can pick Cthulhu as a great old one, right?
Well, Cthulhu is a great old one.
Well, there you go.
Cthulhu.
So for in that example, I think these are cool. This is cool because you can flavor the technique however you want. In the example of Cthulhu, I could see like attacking with your right and then like spectral tentacles bursting out when you crit, kind of intimidating or maybe it surrounds the enemy with like crackling tentacles or something like that to instill that fear, or maybe they see like a shadow version of Cthulhu peer over you when you crit, and that frightens the piss out of them.
Or just see horrific illusions.
Yeah.
You know, also be
That's a good one.
a good tactic to move on to a different target. Because frightened means they can't approach you, or they have disadvantage on attacking you, right?
Right.
Yeah, and if you crit them, then you probably did a whole bunch of damage, and you can allow one of the other team members to pick them off while you're on the next one.
Right. The other, if you choose the Undying Patron, whenever you reduce a hostile creature to 0 hit points with the weapon attack and kill it, you regain hit points equal to your Crimson Right damage die. This is pretty cool because I envision like as you're slashing at them with your weapon, like it's sucking their soul into the weapon and it's rushing into your body. I think that would be cool. That's how I envision that.
Makes me think of Soul Reaver.
Makes me think of Shinobi.
That was a fun game.
I haven't seen what happens in Shinobi.
You actually have to keep killing enemies, or you start losing health.
Oh snap! That is pretty dope. So that is really cool. You mentioned it, Soul Reaver.
Yeah.
How so?
And the thought that what was it? Eventually, at some point in the game, Raziel has the spirit of a sword called the Soul Reaver. I think that's what it was called. And if an enemy is so low on health, and if your energy gauge is high enough, you can stab them, and when you pull away, it sucks their soul out of them and brings it to you when you regain health. Oh,
that's pretty sweet. That is kind of similar, isn't it?
That was an awesome game.
Yeah, I loved all the puzzles and the shifting between the different phases and stuff. That was pretty dope. If you choose the Celestial, you get access when you expend the use of your Blood Maledict. If you choose the Celestial Patron, you can expect. Actually, I don't think we need to do all of them.
But to say, this is taking a while.
Yeah, it is taking a while. And of course, I'll actually end at the great old one. There are several other rights depending on your patron. I think this is really cool because anytime inside your character there are more options that set you apart from the next character next to you. I really enjoy stuff like that. What is the next feature they get there, Ian?
They get... Stop reorienting on me. Phone.
Is it Mystic Frenzy?
Yeah, Mystic Frenzy. Yeah. Beginning at 7th level, when you use your action to cast a cantrip, you can make one weapon attack as a bonus action.
Oh my god.
Ooh.
I gotta check something, because I'm pretty sure I think I have a...
That can be fun.
Thing I want to talk about. Why won't you go on there?
It's there. Right there.
Oh, I can't see it when it's on the thing. So what is the stupid booming blade? 5e, right? I'm pretty sure. Does it use it as a
evocation cantrip?
So
melee weapon attack.
That's the wrong one. Your phone fell, bro.
Dome.
It's right there.
Who?
That's my phone.
No, somebody else's phone fell. I heard it ding. Okay, I just wanted to make sure. I wanted to check the booming blade because, so as part, okay, so this, shit, there it is.
Yep.
So this is really cool because, just like the Eldritch Knight, you get to cast a cantrip and attack, right? So if you, this kind of, in my opinion, helps make up for like the. If you, well, no, they get extra attack, don't they? This ends up giving you early on, like 3 attacks in a row because your extra attack allows you to, when you take the melee attack, get you 2 attacks, right?
Yeah.
If you can, oh no, it's the other way around. If you cast it as a cantrip. Damn, that's less cool. So this is really cool. So like if you can, yeah. So this is, God damn it. I was thinking it was the other way around, but it's when you use your action to cast a cantrip like Booming Blade, you can still make an attack.
That makes it less cool, but this is cool. Look at this.
Yeah. Well, this is neat because it allows you to use spells and still not lose the benefit of being able to like attack twice.
Yeah.
Right? So you could cast, the Booming Blade cantrip, for instance, strike your foe, surround him with this booming energy, and then still use your bonus action to attack. Because that's one of the problems with usually casting a cantrip is if you have extra attack, you lose that extra offensive capability.
Yeah, but most cantrips scale up those you level up, so...
That's true, and this really kind of enhances that, I think, which I think is really nice.
Are
That's
there
one of my...
cantrips that can make an enemy viable to certain element damage?
You mean weak?
Yeah.
I feel like there is, but I can't think of anything.
I can't think of anything either.
Yeah, I'm not really sure. I don't know the answer to that. I could look it up, but honestly,
that'd
I
be
don't
great
want
if
to.
you used something that made them weak against fire, and you already have fire in your hand, and you hit them anyway. And
Yeah, I mean, if you really wanted, I guess you could cast True Strike and then as a bonus action attack with advantage. But why wouldn't you just attack twice? The weakness of that cantrip is awful, I suppose. So additionally at 7th level you get Revealed Arcana, where your dark patron grants you rare use of dangerous arcane spells based upon your pact, which I think is pretty dope. Make sure you guys are keeping an eye out. I feel like I've missed a couple of Ed's comments.
It's been a while since they...
Okay. So once again, we'll go through just the ones that are in the player's handbook, but there's also options that come from the additional resources such as Xanathar's Guide and some other ones. The Sword Coast Adventures Guide and all that stuff. So the first, if you choose the Archfey, you can cast Blur once using your Profane Soul spell slot, but you can't do so again until you finish a long rest. So it basically gives you a free Blur, which is a pretty decent ability.
And the Hexblade gets Branding Smite as its option.
Oh, snap. Really?
Yeah.
That's awesome, because isn't that a Paladin ability?
Generally. Or a Hexblade ability.
Oh, that's cool. If you choose the... you want to...
Yeah, the Fiend. Let's see. You can cast Scorching Ray once... once using a Profane Soul spell slot.
Sorry.
And of course, you can't do it again until a long rest.
I think it's interesting it calls out the spell slots for this particular class. Probably so if you multi-class.
Yeah.
Limitation. Okay. What if there's an imbalance there when you multi-class?
Well, that, and you don't get a lot of spell slots either.
Right.
But at least you come back after short rest.
This says long rest.
Yeah, long rest.
I meant your spell slots.
Oh, do they?
You're tied to a warlock.
But does it actually say that? I don't see that. I know that's how a warlock works.
Spells known, first level and higher.
Sorry, I scrolled away while you were reading that. I don't
see it.
Actually, it doesn't actually say long or short rest, does it?
No, it doesn't. Oh no, it does. It does say, see Chapter 10 PHB for general rules on spellcasting and Chapter 11 for Warlock spell list. So I would probably agree with you then. So if you were using the the great. So we kind of skipped on how we envision these working. Archfey are like fey creatures, like pixies and stuff. I can totally see Blur being like some pixie dust and shit.
I was thinking that like someone just takes glitter and throws it in someone's face. All I can see is a horrible rainbow.
Pocket sand.
Fey dust.
Pocket sand.
Gotta give me some of that fey dust. I like the fiend with the scorching ray. I would like to like maybe add a little flavor with like dark flames as opposed to just the traditional red flames.
Okay, Itachi.
Whatever, man. Don't judge me. And then of course you have the great old. If you choose the great old one, you can cast Detect Thoughts once using your Profane spell slot, and you can't do so again until you finish a long rest. I love Detect Thoughts. When a player uses a school like that, I love being able to feed them information they wouldn't have gotten otherwise, whether it's through like deception or bribery. I think it's really cool. I can just see like once again that kind of shadow looming over him in frickin' Cthulhu's tentacles breaking into like their skull and bringing that connection back to me, so I can understand what they're can understand what they're thinking. That flavor is important to me, okay? And of course you have the other options with the non-PH options, but you can actually find. We'll have a link to the product in our show notes, or you can just go over to DM's Guild and find it there. Due to time constraints, though, we can't visit everything. But I really like the flavor here. At 11th level, you get access to Diabolical Channel. Shut up.
Diabolic.
You get Diabolical Channel.
Diabolic.
You can temporarily infuse your right with the seed of a powerful spell. As an action, you can imbue your right enhanced weapon with one warlock spell you can cast or is already active. Then make a single attack with that weapon. The spell must be using a warlock or profane spell slot. If that attack hits, all spell attack rolls for the imbued spell hit the target automatically and are considered part of a single weapon attack. That is dope as hell.
Fuck?
The target takes weapon damage and is subject to the effects of the spell, expending a spell slot accordingly. If the attack has advantage, the target's initial saving throw against the spell has disadvantage. That is neat. And if the attack misses, the spell has no effect. Area effects originating from the target's space. So this is pretty interesting. It does say that the spells have to be first level or higher, and have the casting time of one action. Or require an action to activate an already active concentration spell. So this is pretty cool. The fact that you can imbue your weapon with any spell and then trigger the spell upon attacking is dope as hell, because that gives you some really cool flavor options in utility mechanics, doesn't it? I mean, think about it. You could put slow on your. I don't know if that's a warlock.
I thought about charm as a joke.
Charm.
Why did you hit me? I'm now in love with you.
Beat him into submission. No, isn't that similar to like Stockholm syndrome?
I'm gonna pull a Chris Brown on your ass.
Oh man, you do get some really cool stuff.
That brings a whole new meaning to dominate person.
But see, this gives me some. Oh god, dude. This gives us some really interesting options too. Like, think about some of the stuff that's just not outright damage. I mean, you get Hellish Rebuke, which is pretty cool if you wanted a more damagey attack. But can you imagine attacking somebody and popping out an Unseen Servant? Starts like tying your shoes and shit. Oh man. Some of the what are some other like? I don't feel like this list is complete. Like, oh, this is the SRD. That's why. Imagine being able to hit somebody with an attack and Misty Step. How cool would that be? I mean, I guess it depends if you're going for more damage.
Yeah. Dimension door.
Fucking attack them and then open up beneath them. Well, it has to be a willing creature, though, doesn't it?
No.
Are you sure?
Yeah.
You're positive?
Yes. If they're unwilling, doesn't make it safe.
Oh, okay.
Or banish.
What if it's invisibility? You attack them and they poof disappear.
I think you gave them an advantage.
But think about it this way. What if you're trying to prove how powerful you are and you can bring down anyone? You tap somebody and everyone watching, they just poof, they're gone.
Just do it to an ally.
Or do it with banishment. Or do banish.
Banish is a good one, I think. I also think it'd be interesting to use it with like mirror if it's capable of being used with mirror image.
Oh my god!
Right? Because that would.
Zone of Truth is one action.
Ooh.
You can just slap someone and be like, "Tell me the truth." Okay.
That's a hell of an interrogation. Yeah. So that gives you a lot of utility options too, not just increased damage. I mean, obviously, increasing your damage is probably the most primary one. But think about maybe Hold Person would be a good one too. So if you start channeling your Hold Person, you've got, I mean, you can become a really powerful utility support character that enhances everybody else's damage with something like that. So
They says spank them till they talk.
At 15th level, they get to unseal. They get Unsealed Arcana. They get the fuck. I can't talk. The player gets access to another rare use of an additional Arcana. Archday gives you access to Slow, which I think is pretty dope. The Fiend allows you to cast Fireball, once again matching up with that very aggressive style of play.
Bum, 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 bum.
And the Great Old One gives you Haste. So these kind of have interesting feels. I love the Archfey Slow because that whole Fey thing has got the distorted time and
these ones don't burn the Profane Soul spell slot.
Oh, but the other one does, right?
Yeah.
Okay, that's an interesting distinction. I didn't realize the other. I knew the other. I thought the other one did for sure.
Yeah,
this one doesn't, though.
right there. We're using a Profane Soul spell slot.
So that's pretty cool. So once you get to 15th level, it doesn't consume your spell slot, which is pretty awesome. With the I think that I really like that the spell's flavor fits the archetype, you know. Very cool. And there's one last feature. Now, once again, there's more options to the other ones. Make sure you pick up the Unearthed Arcana, or not the Unearthed. Pick up the Make sure you pick up the Blood Hunter file. It is actually pay what you want, which means you can choose to pay nothing. If you do enjoy it, make sure you kick back a few dollars and go pay for it later. You can always go back and give the money later if you like it. There's one more feature that the Profane Soul gets. What is it, Ian?
Soul Siphon.
That sounds badass.
I mean, just the name alone's kind of cool. When you reach 18th level, you learn to sacrifice the souls of powerful foes to your Dark Patron in exchange for immediate power. When you reduce a creature to 0 hit points with an attack, kill the creature, and they have a challenge rating of 15 or above, you recover an expended slot.
Oh, that's pretty cool. So this Soul Siphon is pretty awesome. It basically allows you to rip the soul from this creature that you've slain,
mine,
and send it to your Dark Patron. Now, how do you see that going down? Like, what is the flavor for that? You kill it. How does your soul get transferred to your patron?
Magic.
I meant like how would
magic.
You, like I the first thing I think of is Shang Tsung from Mortal Kombat. As soon as you stab them, you reach out and you grab their like head and you pull their soul right from their body. And then you say a quick word of prayer to your deity, and you send it into a portal into the abyss that appears around you. I think that's awesome.
I see it as because it says that when they reach 0 hit points and you kill them, that means that their body does drop, and then you see their soul like coming out of their body and like, oh, I can rest in peace. And you just take their blade and you cut their soul in half and it just sucks into your blade into your body like,
gotcha, bitch.
It's like Ghostbusters, but
oh my god, that is awesome. That is really cool. I like that. Maybe the act of getting your spell slot is you like as you cut into them that it absorbs some of the energy and rushes through your body, and you send it back up and the rest up to your deity. Like you keep a little bit for yourself.
Why am I not pushing? Why am I not pushing the quickening from Highlander?
That's a nice one.
Or when they fall down dead, like you extend your arm, and there's just this barbed blade of energy that comes from your hand. It's not like an actual physical steel or anything. Mm-hmm. And you plunge it into their body, and as you pull it, you're pulling out the soul with it because it's barbed, and it's just like,
oh, dude, that is baller.
And then when it goes back into your hand, just the whole thing just,
That's so awesome.
It sounds evil.
And once again, you would have to, I would encourage you to flavor that to match whichever patron you got. If you've got a fiend, maybe it looks like your hand, the spectral isn't a sword, but like a jagged fiend's hand. that materializes over yours. If it's, you've got the great old one, I'll keep going with Cthulhu because we were talking about that. Maybe it's a flailing tentacle that wraps around and, rips their soul, absorbs their soul.
Or the Archday, like there's a spike of a tree or wood that just impales their body, and on the spike is an orb of their spirit, and you just
that is dope as hell.
Because fairies,
they're bastards. All right, that'll do it for the Profane Soul. Next, we have the Order of the Lycan.
That's not in this PDF I have.
Order of the Lycan?
Yeah.
I think it's the first one.
No.
Oh, no, that's right. It's a separate thing.
It's right here.
That's show notes.
Yeah, you gotta type it in the, if you go up into your Google Drive here and just type in Lycan, it should show up. I added it to the Google Drive. It should be actually one of the quick references, too. That's where I got it. You want to help him find that? He's got it.
No results. There it is.
Yeah, right there.
No results. Psych! So, the Order of the Lycan. The Order of the Lycan is a proud order of blood hunters who undergo the taming, a ceremonial inflicting of lycanthropy from a senior member. These hunters then use their abilities to harness the power of the monster they harbor without losing themselves to it. Through intense honing of one's own willpower, combined with the secrets of the Order's blood magic rituals, members learn to control and unleash their hybrid form for short periods of time. That kind of reminds me of Rage. Enhanced physical prowess, unnatural resilience, and razor-sharp claws make these warriors a terrible foe to any evil that crosses their path. Yet, no training is perfect, and without care and complete focus, even the greatest of hunters can temporarily lose themselves to the bloodlust. Does that sound dope as what? Dope as hell or what?
Rawr. Are you slaves? Or are you Lycans? Rawr.
Is that from that Underworld?
Yeah, that's from
Lucius, right?
the prequel? I forgot what it was called.
We don't speak of that movie.
What, you didn't like it? Is that the one?
The prequel?
Oh, no, it's from that one.
That one was the prequel was completely and utterly pointless.
Not really.
What, is that that was like back in old times when they were
pointless.
Still servants, right?
Yeah, it's pointless in the fact of the storyline, because in the first movie you learn
literally
where
learn
Lucius came from and why the hybrid vampire werewolf thing existed.
Yeah, you literally learn everything that happens in the third movie in the first movie.
It's just that in the prequel, it's Lucian's story,
but
how he became a Lycan
from his perspective.
Yeah. Well, he was
born a Lycan, wasn't he?
He was born, yeah.
Yeah, he was born Lycan.
But am I wrong?
I don't remember him enough to have any comments on that.
Thought
personally.
it was a fantastic movie because I'm on the Lycan team, so.
And that movies they are cooler, so.
Yeah. So Ian, what is the first feature you get at 3rd level when you choose the Order of the Lycan?
You get to have sex with a vampire.
I just enjoy Cake Beckinsale.
God, I had such the hots for her when I saw that Underworld movie.
Alrighty. For starters, the first thing you get is Heightened Senses. When you choose this archetype, you begin to adopt the improved abilities of a natural predator. I get it. You gain advantage on any wisdom perception checks that rely on hearing or smell.
Which is awesome.
You're a mutt. Ian, sniff out the enemy.
You're just walking down the road and you're like, guys, someone in that tavern just farted. And it sounded wet. I can smell it.
Additionally, at 3rd level, you get the hybrid transformation, which basically you begin to learn to control the lycanthropic curse that kind of now is part of you. And as an action, you can transform into this hybrid form, and it lasts for 10 minutes. You can speak, use weapons, and wear your armor and equipment and stuff in this form. You revert to your normal form by either using action on your turn or automatically revert the form when you fall unconscious. Drop to 0 or die.
And you can use it twice between a short or long rest.
Nice. So that's Does rage recharge on short rest?
Yeah.
Okay. Just making sure. I was gonna say that's better.
There, I could imagine a
I feel like it does.
what was that called? Home rules, table rules,
House rules.
house
Home
rules,
brew?
house rules. Yeah, there's like in Skyrim, when you get the ability to become a werewolf or Lycan, it only lasts for so long. But the more you feed, the longer you stay as it.
Huh. That's cool.
Which I think would be a neat addition to it, but it's not part of it. So
Right,
I mean,
right.
it might become part of it. We haven't looked at the whole thing yet.
Right. So once you transform, you get a couple new features. The first one you get is Feral Mite, which you gain a bonus to melee damage rolls equal to half your proficiency bonus, which is pretty nice. You also have advantage on strength checks and strength saving throws. Now, to me, this is a big deal. I'm a person who loves to take advantage of the grapple and knock prone. This would probably be my number one baby right here. Being able to choke a bitch and stab him, bite him, claw him, whatever. I really feel like this would be this is a good mechanic for capturing that essence of the strength that the Lycans have.
Knock them down, go for the throat. The next you got is Resilient Hide, and that is you have resistance to bludgeoning, piercing, and slashing damage from non-magical weapons that aren't silvered. While you are not wearing heavy armor, you gain a +1 bonus to your AC.
Neat.
That's some pretty good stuff. First of all, the Resilient Hide, werewolves are resistance to weapons. They're hard to kill. This is a really good mechanic for that. And honestly, not very many enemies carry silvered weapons, so unless your DM just like, I gotta kill that bastard, I feel like this is almost on par with the Rage, right?
Unless you specifically come across a werewolf hunter, you're probably not gonna
Right.
find something like that.
Or you probably gotta use this magic.
Yeah,
Or
but
magical weapon,
but yeah, same thing. What is that last one there, Ian?
You get. Oh, it's not the last one at all.
Oh, it's not. There's actually more. Or there's two more. I'm sorry. What's the next one, Ian?
Predatory Strike. And your unarmed strikes now count as a single weapon in regards to your Crimson Right feature. And you can use dex that have strength, which is always awesome. And you can also... And when you attack using an unarmed strike, you can use another one as a bonus action. And the die gets bigger as you level up.
Oh, that is dope. I love, once again, grappling and unarmed strikes. This is a really good build that I would love to be able to do. Choke a guy with one hand, rip his guts out with the other hand. I mean, that is fantastic. And it's Predatory Strike, so it could be your teeth, it could be your claws, it could be, your knee to the gut. Thanks for joining us, Ed. Have a good one, buddy. And I love that the damage scales as you get strong, as you level up. That is fantastic. So it's never obsolete. You want to take the next one?
Yeah, cursed weakness, obviously, of course, is you have vulnerability to damage from silvered weapons.
So there's a lot that comes with this, but my favorite is Bloodlust. At the start of your turn, if you've taken any damage since the beginning of your last turn, you must make a Wisdom saving throw. And on a failed save, you must move directly towards the nearest creature to you and use your attack action against the creature. If there is more than one possible target, the DM chooses the target. You then regain control for the remainder of your turn. This is interesting. So anytime you take damage, you have to make a save throw determined by the damage. But this creates a...
Ew.
This creates a very dangerous situation. So while you've got all these strengths and advantages, you now are at risk. You're now a risk to your party.
And there also is a side note on here. It says if you're under an effect that prevents you from casting like Barbarian Rage, you automatically fail.
Oh.
Excuse me. That was totally caught.
So I like this because this is the risk you take.
Oh, damn.
And, oh my fucking god, dude.
You gotta fire, otherwise you explode.
No, that's not how that works.
That's how
at all.
spontaneous human combustion works.
I love this hybrid transformation. That's all the stuff you have access to at 3rd level, man. That is so dope.
It's a long list.
Yeah, and it is really cool. And I feel like Matt did a really good job capturing the essence that makes a werewolf. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
What is the next feature, Ian?
Stalker's Prowess. Your speed increases by 10 feet. Oh, yeah. I guess that's 7th level, by the way. At 7th level, your speed increases by 10 feet. You can also add 10 feet to your jump distance and 3 feet to your high jump distance. And you also gain improved Predatory Strike, where, when you have an active right while in the hybrid form, your unarmed strikes are considered magical for the purpose of overcoming resistance and immunity to non-magical attacks and damage.
Nice.
I got that one.
No more barriers. Once again, I like this. This really fits the features that, when I envision a werewolf, I envision somebody jumping off the second balcony or climbing up the side of a building to the top. And this feature kind of enhances that. You already got the feral Mite that gives you advantage on your strength checks, but now you get bonuses to your speed and stuff, allowing you to climb faster, climb farther, jump farther. All those things really fit the very bestial rampaging kind of monster, which I think is fantastic.
Next, you got Advanced Transformation. Starting at 11th level, you learn to unleash and control more of the beast within. You can now transform into your hybrid form as a bonus action, and your hybrid transformation now lasts for up to 30 minutes.
Ooh.
In addition, your hybrid form gains the Lycan regeneration and beastly precision features.
Ooh. The Lycan regeneration. At the start of each of your turns, you regain hit points, which is fantastic. And if you have more than half your hit points left, you do not gain any of these benefits. Wait, hang on, wait. At the start of each of your turns, you regain hit points equal to 1 plus your con modifier if you have no more than half your hit points left. If you don't, you do not gain this benefit if you have 0 hit points. So this is really cool. This is just a constant recovery of your HP over time, which is fantastic. You additionally get beastly precision, which you gain as a bonus action to melee attack. You gain a bonus to melee attack. You gain a bonus to melee attack rolls made with unarmed strikes, so equal to half your proficiency. So now we're encouraging the use of melee unarmed strikes instead of weapons, right?
Yep.
It's wanting you to rip your enemies limb from limb as opposed to using a great axe or a finesse, rapier or some bullshit like that. It wants you to bite into their arm, to knee them in the gut, to rip their legs off. Oh man, that would be so much fun to play a character that just rips people
fun.
apart. You know what I mean? Ian, what's the next feature?
Iron Volition. Beginning at 15th level, you have honed your willpower to better resist the violent urges of your lycanthropic curse. Whenever you make a wisdom saving throw to take control, you do so with advantage. And you gain the Pack Hunter feature, which you have an advantage on an attack roll against a creature if at least one of your allies is within 5 feet and is not incapacitated.
Oh, this is awesome. So, first of all, granting advantage so you don't lose control is a big one. But this Pack Hunter feature, if I grappled somebody, I would drag him over to an ally and then start ripping into them. I mean, that is so dope. Like, healer, you're not doing shit. Come here for a second, and just drag this this guy kicking and screaming towards somebody as you begin to gnaw on them and bite on their insides and rip out their innards.
You taste like pork.
So I mean, how does that sound to you guys? I mean, does that sound the way this is going?
Yeah.
Yep.
It sounds like it wants you to ixnay the weapons, which is fantastic for me because I love grapplers and I don't being able to just, oh man, I love it. What is the final feature we get here, Brandon?
The Hybrid Transformation Mastery, and that's at 18th level. You have wrestled your inner predator and mastered it. You can now use your Hybrid Transformation feature 3 times between rests. You also gain the Blood Curse of the Howl for your Blood
Malediction
feature. Yeah.
Read it again.
Ah, damn it. Malediction. You also gain the Blood Curse of the Howl for your Blood Malediction feature. This does not count against your blood curses known. And the blood curse of the Howl. As an action, you howl at any number of creatures within 30 feet, chilling their blood and stunning them with fear. Any of the target creatures that can hear you must succeed on a wisdom saving throw, DC equal to 8 plus your proficiency bonus, plus your wisdom modifier, or become frightened of you until the end of your next turn. If they fail the saving throw by 5 or more, they are stunned until the end of your next turn instead. A creature that succeeds on a saving throw is immune to this blood curse for the next 24 hours. And Amplify. This curse can target any number of creatures within 60 feet of you.
It's a battle shout. It's an intimidation shout.
Just jump into a giant skirmish and be like,
bitch is gonna get their throats ripped out today.
and I guarantee like half the enemies will be like, nah, fuck this, and just leave.
Yep.
That is so cool. And once again, that is, to me, that is almost a fantastic capstone ability.
Yep.
I mean, I say capstone, it's not quite there, but that is fantastic. It exemplifies everything that is a werewolf. Jumping down, howling, scaring the shit out of your prey before you pounce. This is a good guy, right?
I'm willing to bet that Mercer's favorite thing to do in Skyrim is become a werewolf because they have this ability in the game too.
Do they?
Yes,
That's so dope.
You can roar at creatures around. I think it's within 30 feet. They become frightened of you and they run away.
Oh, that's so awesome. I love this. I think this is fantastic. Once again, the fact that you can stun enemies and frighten them, that is dope. That is a hell of an action, and I would love to
failed by more than 5
to play this. To shit himself. I hope you're wearing your brown pants today.
That'd be great if they fail by more than 8. They shit themselves, and everything is treated as rough terrain.
Deck save or slip and fall. Oh my god. What do you guys think about this?
Oh, that's gross. It sounds awesome, and I would love to make a character like that.
Right?
Yeah. I think for all of our patron games, I think I'm gonna start allowing other stuff besides the just the normal official stuff. I think I'm gonna start allowing Cobalt Press, and I think I'm gonna start allowing Matt Mercer's products because it's very well tested. I've read through all the updates, and he gets constant feedback and makes adjusted changes. So this is awesome. That'll conclude our Blood Hunter class analysis. Matt Mercer, you did a wonderful job. Clearly, a lot of work went into these. You really nailed him as a game designer. I think you did a fantastic job. And if you guys enjoy this this product, please head on over to DM's Guild and pick it up. You can find a link on our show notes or visit our website and click our affiliate link there as well. These are free products. You can pick them up. They are a pay what you want. I do encourage you, if you like a product and you get a lot of good out of it, go back and kick a few dollars to them to show your thanks, because a massive amount of time went into developing these. So that'll do it for our main topic today. Before we move on to our final segment, we have one more gift to give away, compliments of Loresmith.
And our winner today is Jake McQuiggan.
Ian, who's our winner today? Congratulations. Fuck is his name?
It's Jack.
Jack McQuiggan.
Ian, who's our winner today?
Jack McQuiggan.
Jack, be quick.
Jack from the candlestick?
Yep.
Jack be nimble, Jack be quick. Jack burn off his fucking dick.
Congratulations, Jack McQuicken. If you enjoy the adventure, please head on over to if you enjoy the product, please be sure to leave Loresmith a review or send him an email, tell him that you like all that jet. If you enjoy the adventure, please head on over and leave Loresmith a review, tell him what you like, what you didn't like, help him improve his product moving forward.
Like I said, all that jazz. Wait, that's not professional enough. I gotta
No,
respect that.
I was just like, I'm to the point where I just like, y'all know the spiel, move on. Okay. Oh, we can do this. We can make through this in time. We're actually making better time than I thought we would.
Oh, well, I talked about 2 archetypes, so.
Yeah. Well,
What time is it?
8:10.
Oh, yeah, we're fine.
Does anybody want to take this, or should I? Brandon, I think you should. Moving on to our Unearthed Tips and Tricks. Where we bring you new and creative content for you to bring with you on your next adventure.
Yeah.
Our first Unearthed Tip and Trick is our character concept.
It comes from our patron, Troy Z. The Drunken Grappler. While discussing Monk Barbarian build and unique and interesting grappling builds, Troy stumbles across the Drunken Master archetype. While it wouldn't be the most optimized, it could be a very hilarious kind of interaction. When she begins grappling her target while drunkenly slurring says, "Hey, don't I know you? I think I know you," while holding onto the leaning... While holding on to and leaning on them. "What's your name?" "I didn't. We meet at that tavern." "You know the one, over there by that city." While knocking a target prone, she knocked them prone by tripping up himself and pulling them down to try and keep herself standing. That's funny. And keeps them pinned down by offering to help them up, but actually pulling and stumbling around them in a way that keeps them off balance. The rage could be reflavored as super drunk or totally tanked. Maybe acting a lot like a drunken sorority member.
Hey! Come here!
Actually, I was picturing that. I'm actually picturing the episode of Rick and Morty when Rick raided out with Summer to beat up Satan.
The beat up Satan.
You talking about when she works for him?
Yeah.
That was funny.
But
that was a good episode.
But then he backstabs her because he's like, "Dude, why are you surprised? I'm the freaking devil."
You are not. Damn it. What's his name?
Did you just Zuckerberg me?
Yeah, did you just Zuckerberg me?
I pulse like a bug, but falls like a bug.
Sorority member.
So, and I like this character concept a lot because I can just imagine. I like this character concept a lot. I think it's fun to have a character who's just like, "Do you want to dance with me?" Sure.
Why didn't you
just say so? I like to dance. Come here, partner. I mean, we always think the drunken fighter is somebody who just stumbles, but never one that really is communicating what's going on. And I think using a character who's like hanging on to you as if you're like the bestest buddy in the world, and just like, "Hey, Phyllis, is that you? I haven't seen you in years. Come here, buddy. Give me a hug." Oh. And you're locking down a character while you're saying this shit.
Oh, great. Now I'm thinking about the Rick and Morty app when Morty gets that big arm that has a mind of its own.
I see that. No, not that one yet.
It's the Mad Max episode.
I'm still ways behind.
Yeah, excuse me.
Okay.
The other thing that I think is interesting about this, while I know that the monk and barbarian build isn't optimized, the fact that you can get an increased movement speed and the flurry of blows feature is really nice, because each one of those flurry of blows will add the damage from the rage, right? So if you do strike for 3 times in a turn, that's at low levels, plus 2 damage for each of those strikes. So that's a significant increase base in spike damage, max damage.
Great. You just walk up that one orc and you're just like, "Hey, you're sexy. I think you're cute." And you just like trip over them and you throw them over your arm and they go flying and just drop. Oh, I'm so clumsy.
And that's where half orcs come from.
You didn't. You didn't. You're supposed to buy me a bottle of bourbon toe first. Come here, buddy. You know what? It's been so long since I've seen you. Come here and give me a big old hug.
5 shots is my limit. What happens if you have 6? I wake up in an alley. What happens if you have 10? That's how I met Tyrone.
Tyrone Bigham. Troy, I think that this was a really great idea. I was giggling when he was actually talking to me about it and he was texting me. I think this is fun, and I will probably run this next time I get a chance. It's very fantastic. That is our character concept, the friendly drunken grappler.
Monsters.
Ian, would you like to take our monster variant?
Sure. Today's monster variant is the Merfolk General, and obviously the origin is go figure, the Merfolk.
Obviously,
its first new feature is Inspiring Command. Twice a day, the Merfolk can use an action to target up to 3 creatures within 30 feet. Once within the next minute, the creature can roll a d4 and add the roll to 1 attack, roll, ability check, or saving throw. The creature can only be under the effects of 1 Inspiring Command at a time, so Bard ability. Nice. And they also get Commander's Strike. When the Merfolk takes the attack action on its turn, it can forego one of its attacks and use it as a bonus action It can forgo one of its attacks and use its bonus action to direct one of its allies to strike. When it does so, it chooses a friendly creature who can see or hear it. The creature can immediately use its reaction to make one weapon attack, adding a d4 to the attack's damage.
Ouch. That's allowing a creature that's already gone to go again, doesn't it?
Yeah.
At the cost of the creature itself not going, but at increased damage, right? I really like this monster. I'm building monsters for our additional monsters for our adventure, and I wanted to set one of the earlier encounters apart. We've got the main villain that is a previous monster variant. I think I called it the Tide Master or whatever. But I wanted something a little more like a mini boss, and I realized there wasn't a whole lot in the 5e book. Or the monster manual that really gave me options for Merfolk. So I decided to make kind of a small leader. In this creature being able to buff up its allies, buff up his allies, and allow them to not only use their D4 to increase their chance to attack, but then another D4 to increase their damage. Really gives it a commanding feel that he's saying, "You there, swoop around left and flank the moron with the staff. You there, you thrust charge at the big giant Bernie ragey barbarian guy there.
I don't wanna.
You'll be okay. Be cannon fodder, you know." But I really wanted a leader type position for the Merfolk, and so this is something I came up with. Basically, it's a combination of like the bless spell. With a little bit different usage, and then it also is the Battle Master's Commander Strike feature. So, what do you guys think about how this kind of melds together?
I think it comes together rather nicely.
I think it's a good mini boss, and in that I don't think players are going to be seeing it coming.
Well, and really, the Merfolk stat is the same as the Merfolk. The only difference is he is very inspiring and gives commands. So his stat isn't really any difference. Though when I'm going to run him, I'll probably max out his hit points instead of taking the average, which is something I encourage players to do, or DMs to do. If you're looking to make your monsters a little bit different, just setting some of the monsters to the lowest hit point and then one to the max, you can make them feel different. Because if Brandon slays 3 of these little goblins in one shot, and then the next one takes after 2 hits is still standing, it's gonna really give you a surprise. But I really like this monster, and I hope you guys do. It is the Merfolk General. Our encounter of the podcast is our gladiatorial horde. We've all seen the arena combat, right? Where you set up an arena and you take on the challenge and whatever. That's pretty common. I'm playing Fable right now, and one of the scenarios is you go into this arena, and after every round, your reward increases, but you have an option to stay longer. And it's a horde of monsters, and the hordes get progressively larger as the match goes on. But at the end of every match, you have the option to double your money and stay and go next, or end, right?
Mm-hmm.
But also the monsters increase. So I think this is a really good idea, a good encounter, not from the traditional sense where you're fighting other player characters or NPCs that are like human, but adding waves and waves and waves of monsters. I think it adds a little bit of variety and allows the players an opportunity to earn money quickly or die.
Yep.
And you can make this go as high or as low as you want. Coming back to where, trying to think of what I want to add to this. It's a real simple concept, but it moves away from the traditional slave battle type stuff to waves of monsters. And I think that is really, really fun. I'm writing something up for an adventure right now that somebody is writing. I am writing this encounter for somebody else for something. And I'm not supposed to say what it is because it's not a thing. But what do you guys think about this?
Well, everybody loves like a gladiatorial arena.
Yeah.
I like it. It was one of my favorite features in Fable and also in Borderlands because they have it. I can't remember which Borderlands it was. I think it was the second one where they had an arena like this.
Monster arena? The big thing I think that will come to this to really bring it to life, make sure you add lots of different traps. Spinning blades is one where and use monsters that can push the players into those, that'll, grapple them and throw them with tentacles into them. Make sure there's acid pits, make sure there's walls for the players to hide behind.
Infamous lions on chains.
Lions on chains. It's really important, and the other thing to consider is take into account the crowd's reaction to everything the players do. When they do something really good, have them, cheer and celebrate the player's victory. And if the player showboats a little bit, make sure you reward some inspiration. But you're gonna want some of the audience that's against the players and are going boo when they succeed at something. As a DM, it's really fun to do. Half the crowd is going boo. They're throwing tomatoes at you and shit. But you guys got anything else that you think would make a gladiatorial horde battle interesting?
The peanut gallery in the audience.
Oh yeah, peanut gallery.
Yep.
Okay.
A third party.
Ooh, a third faction. So you got the players, the monsters, and then somebody else. What is the somebody else doing?
Perhaps if you've got you versus all these other monsters, and there's other humans with you fighting along. It's a battle royal type of thing. But on the other hand, there is an undefeatable or an unkillable object like a tamed dragon that flies around and every so often breathes fire onto the field or something.
Oh yeah, like a lair action. Just an event that happens at the top of every round.
Yeah,
that's pretty dope. That's a good one. I like that. That or like a sleeping breath or lightning bolts or some shit like that. Definitely add to it. All right, that'll do it for our encounter of the podcast, the Gladiatorial Horde.
Ooh, add some environmental hazards.
Oh yeah, any particular one you would add?
Oh, spike pits, fire traps, buzzsaw blades. Why not?
Yeah, all that stuff. Definitely, you have to have that stuff. You can't just have an arena that doesn't have that stuff. It's not fun. It's basic and it's circled. That's not cool. Having one that has like random traps that just fall, or pop out from the wall, like spikes that pop out of the wall when you get too close. Maybe one of the enemies, has tentacles or grapples them and chucks them into the wall, and then they get impaled on spikes and shit.
This arena is a giant field, and I managed to touch the only cactus in it.
That is actually what I had to my first killer.
No. That'll do it for our encounter of the podcast, the Gladiatorial Horde. Our magic item of the podcast comes from The Frosted Prince, an adventure written by JVC Perry. I love this adventure. You definitely need to check it out. We have a link to our show notes right to DM's Guild. You can pick up your copy if you want. Brandon, would you like to tell us about this magic item?
The magic item is the Amulet of Proof against petrification. Amulet of Proof against petrification. It is a rare, wondrous item. It is a rare, wondrous item that requires attunement. This amulet depicts a blindfolded Medusa upon its highly polished surface. While wearing this amulet, if you fail a saving throw that would turn you to stone, you are instead incapacitated for 1d6 rounds. If a spell or effect would turn you to stone without allowing a saving throw, you are instead incapacitated for 1 minute. These abilities do not function while the wearer is incapacitated.
What do you guys think about this?
Situational, but you'll be glad you had it in that situation.
That's exactly one of the things that I thought. I thought that this is an item that you could give out to a player and they would forget about it until it mattered.
Like paying full coverage for car insurance.
My favorite quotes from Alien vs. Predator, the first one. It's like, oh, we're only going on an expedition. I don't know why you need a pistol. Well, it's the same thing as a condom. I'd rather have it and not need it, and need it and not have it. That's a good movie.
The reason I really like this is because it does a couple different things. One, the players often will consider something like this worthless. Because unless you're often the DM that's going to, I'm going to give you this, then run you into this encounter. But I think giving this magical item to a group early on where they don't have no use for it, and maybe they fill out on attunement slots and unattune it, and then run into a Medusa, so they're not using it when they need it, I think is interesting. I like that it's a passive effect that if they forget they have it and it saves them, That would be a dope thing, because I don't know about you guys, but I forget some of the shit that's in my inventory sometimes.
Yeah.
Happens all the time. So could you imagine you guys walk into it and you run into a Gorgon, this big iron ball breathes the smoke on you, or whatever. Is it a breath? It's a breath weapon, isn't it? Or is it just a visual thing? I don't remember.
Not the Gorgons were visual.
Maybe. But in any case, you turn around the corner and there's a stupid Gorgon there, and all your allies start to have to, turn to stone, or they get a little hard. And they begin to, cease up, and the DM doesn't turn for a save. Wait. You still do have to make a save.
It just it's not as bad if you fail it.
Yeah, it definitely reduces. So when everyone else is beginning to turn to stone and you don't seem to be under the effects right away, it becomes a powerful get out of free jail card. And most of the types of weapons that I see, or most of the type of magic items that I often see, are mostly weapons and armor and designed to make you stronger for every combat. This is such a utility item, but you'll be glad you have it when you need it, versus hoping you're gonna need it. I guess hoping it has a function. You didn't? Did you do that as Deckard Cain?
What? No, I didn't. I did it in a robust. Do you want me to do it as Deckard?
It's fine. That'll do it for our magic item. The Amulet of Proof from the Frosted Prince.
That makes me think of a new magic item.
Write it down.
That would be great.
It's so funny. I get emails. Are you going to use my magic item? And sometimes I don't have the heart. I was just like, it's terrible. No.
From Mario.
Yeah. Write it down. Add it to the brainstorm section. Our Dungeon Master tip of the podcast also comes from patron Troy Z. When describing attack misses, take into account the roll total and the target's defenses. What it basically boils down to is the idea is that since everyone has at least a 10 AC, that is the baseline ability to get hit in a target. Because everyone's trying to run away, right? They're not trying to die. They're trying to move out of the way or whatever. So if an attack roll hits below a 10, then the attack completely missed by their own failure, i.e. your bow shot was nowhere near the target, or maybe you stumbled when you were swinging your sword, or you flubbed a spell entirely and the target just happened to miss. If your attack is over 10 but misses, then the defender did something to cause the miss. Raised their shield to block, moved to parry, or dodged out of the way. That's an interesting way of thinking of it.
Oh.
Whenever I'm playing a heavy armor wearing shield wearing tank, the DM says he attacked you, but you moved out of the way. It always makes me stop and think, no, that's not what happened. That's not what my character would have done. I don't mean to add a lot of extra work to the DM, which is kind of what you're doing, man. Mm-hmm. If you want to just say he missed and move on, that's fine. But if you're going to describe the miss to be immersive, don't break our immersion by describing a scenario that doesn't fit.
This makes me think of those of Kingdom to Hell when Dale bought a suit of armor because of that was going out of business. Just walking around everywhere. Hey, come on, punch me! I dare you. That's right, I am invincible.
Does somebody bypass his armor, punching him in the face or something?
No, people keep hitting him with random crap without the entire episode. That's a running gag.
I think this is interesting because this isn't something a lot of people do. Generally what happens is if they miss, some people, it boils down to, you missed. Some other people say, you parried the blow, or your armor caught the blade, or something along those lines. But I never thought to break it down by how the range, right? Mm-hmm. And how bad it is. I know when somebody hits on point, if the AC is 16 and they hit the armor class, I generally will take a time to describe that as you assaulted the soldier with your blade, he parries your blade as it runs along, skittering across and nicks his cheek or shoulder or something. Even though he did parry it, it still hit, kind of alluding to that. But aside from that, I've never really taken that into consideration. I think I will try to moving forward. What about you guys?
I think it's an awesome idea. I never would have thought of that either.
Yeah, me neither. What about you, Ian?
Adds a little bit of salt to this turkey.
What?
What?
Did I miss something?
I don't know.
Adds flavor.
Oh,
Oh, I was just,
I'm an idiot.
I was just, I just saw that right before you said, it's like, oh, I get it.
That's flavor. That's really good. I like
That's
that.
insult to this turkey.
Oh man, Troy, I think this is a great idea. You've kind of awoken us to this. I don't know that everyone will do it, but I definitely appreciate the little attention to detail. That is our Dungeon Master tip of the podcast. I didn't give it a title. I need a title for this. I need a title, guys. Come on. If I name it again, it's gonna end up with something like the Dodge and Nene or something. Okay.
Ben 10. I don't know.
Know your role.
Know your role. Know your role and shut your mouth.
That's not bad. I like that. Know your role. Armor class matters.
You suck, and here's why.
You're sucking. Here's why.
AC matters. That's our Dungeon Master tip of the podcast. Know your role. AC matters. Armor class matters. Armor class matters. Our player tip of the podcast is don't be a dick. Way to be on the delay there, Ian.
He was reading ahead.
Our player tip of the podcast is don't be a dick. And you can avoid dickitude by being boastful. Now, we've all seen the many different ways players have tried to make money in D&D. Ian, can you name one?
By selling Hydra heads at a fast food place.
Brandon, can you name one?
Selling Hydra heads at a fast food place?
I suppose selling monster body parts.
It's an all-you-can-eat buffet because the heads keep growing back.
Tricking people, bargaining, playing music out in town square. Hell, you can get a guy who's got paint and he can paint rocks red, and if he's good enough, he can sell them as rubies.
Right, and so some of those are pretty common, right? The bard playing in a tavern, the roguish character trying to cheat at a game of dice or cards. Those are pretty common.
This is another Fable reference, isn't it?
It is.
Yeah.
Obviously, I take inspiration from everything I play. So these are all good and well, but what if you wanted to earn bigger money and make a name for yourself? Consider taking on boast. In Fable, you can take on, you can present yourself to an audience and try to gamble on your success as a hero. How confident are you in your adventure? The boasts come in many different flavors, but some of the ones that came to mind is, I'm so awesome. I bet you guys I could clear out a goblin cave in my underoos.
Well, if you're a barbarian, you're already doing that.
Damn. That's an excellent point. But that would have a bigger impact for, say, like the knight, right? The Eldritch Knight. Or you could say that bandit leader is so weak, I bet I can beat him without a weapon. And once again, it depends on your class for this to really be a big deal.
You're a monk!
A monk or a wizard's probably not going to have the impact that you want, but
right. No, really?
But if the great sword-wielding fighter decides to do this and to go into combat without it, basically you're taking gambles. I'm so quick, I bet I can slay that mountain lion without taking a single blow.
That was the worst boast in that game because it was almost impossible.
Is that really a thing?
Yes, that was one of the boasts I remember.
Oh, where you can't.
I'll take on this bandit camp without no damage. I'm like, I'm gonna skip this boast because that doesn't seem possible.
That's the easiest one.
A higher level.
That's literally the easiest one to get.
There's
a magic spell called Absorb Shield, and it consumes your mana instead of your health. Problem solved. You're welcome.
Whatever.
Maybe I cheated, but still. And it's interesting because basically you're putting yourself on a pedestal and presenting yourself to the audience, whether it's a small local tavern or you're standing on the crier's dais and shouting to everyone. The boasts should be light, fun, and lighthearted, and it should be an interesting way to earn a little bit of money. But more important, becoming renowned by the locals and the people in the area. The more creative and the difficult the boast, the more locals will be willing to pay for that. And obviously, this will come down to your DM, but who thinks I can do this sort of thing, you know? And once you've succeeded at taking a boast and you've become it becomes an interesting part of your character, and maybe it can come into play later. So yeah, well, I once wrestled a lion in my bare hands and nothing but a loincloth.
You're a druid! You turned into the bear!
You're a druid, he turned into a bear.
Well, it didn't matter that I used talk with animals and told them to play dead. Does it? But the point is to create a scenario where you're taking on additional challenges to make the game harder for yourself. I thought of this because I thought it would be nice. There's some people who say my DM never kills us, or the game is too easy, or all that stuff. This would be a good way to make it a challenge for yourself. I would even challenge min-maxers to take on stuff like this, because now you've built your character solely for this. Can they survive without it? You know, that's just my thoughts. What do you guys think about something like this?
I am so beautiful that I can bring back the body of a bandit who has suffered angel lust.
What?
You don't know what that is, do you?
No.
It's when someone dies in combat with a heart on.
Oh my god.
And the problem is, because the heart stops, the blood stays where it stays. So you're just a corpse with the thing going on. So you just drag that body like, whoop! Yeah.
So what do you guys think about this?
I like the idea because I think it's hard to gain money without doing adventures.
It's true.
Another thing is, it's like, oh, okay, I'm gonna play my bagpipes in the town square. It's like, okay, let's roll and see how much you make. You make 3 copper pieces. Well, fuck me.
And once again, what do you think, Ian?
That is a lot of fun with this, because he doesn't go, I bet you I can insert an absurd thing here.
Yeah, and that's basically what it is. It's meant to be something absurd, but also help you build a reputation. If you're the big barbarian guy, you want to say, I don't need my great sword. I can beat this lion into submission with my bare hands. Or I won't even use my hands. I'll use my feet.
Tie my hands behind my back and put my dagger in my mouth.
I just think it would add for interesting fun.
Okay, Zabuza.
Zabuza does do that, doesn't he?
And it was awesome.
So does Zoro. Zoro does that. From, what is the pirate guy?
One Piece.
One Piece, thank you.
Although in Zabuza's case, he lost each of his arms. So.
Yeah. Didn't stop him from kicking ass, though.
No, it didn't.
So that'll do it for our player tip of the podcast. Don't be a dick.
You can avoid dickitude by...
You can avoid dickitude by being boastful. Add that flavor, add that story element, make your character stand out, and, sometimes just be... If you're a healer, don't take on the boast. I bet I can make it through this adventure without healing anybody.
That's fucked up.
Guys, I can't heal you. 1,000 gold pieces is on the line. Walk it off.
Walk it off.
Being boastful is fun.
Your
Give it a
party doesn't
shot.
need healing if they're dead.
Oh my god.
What if the healer is also an alchemist and makes potions? If he gives them a healing potion, that's still considered healing them?
Well, were they bleeding out and now they're not?
I guess so.
Then I would say yes. Well, that'll do it for our show today. Before we close out, we have one more gift to give away. Compliments of our sponsor, Jeff Stevens. This is Madhouse of Tasha's Kiss now. Did you notice that?
Yeah, I did.
Yep.
We started doing that, last episode?
Mm-hmm. Who is our winner, Ian?
Our winner today is... I can't decide if it's Big Papa or Big Poopa.
It's definitely Big Papa.
Okay.
They call me Big Papa.
Papa.
Big Papa 4467.
They call me Big Papa.
They call me Big Papa. Congratulations, Big Papa 4467. If you enjoy the adventure, please make sure to leave a review. Let Jeff Stevens know what you liked. Let him know what you thought of the adventure.
Yeah.
I love this adventure. I ran this for our patrons, and it was awesome. Cannot recommend it enough.
Big Papa, yeah.
If you can't wait to win one, you can head over to Crit Academy and click or head on over to critacademy.com/Jeff-Stevens, and you can just purchase your copy for a few dollars. So,
My.
so that'll do it for our show today. Please join us on our next episode where would somebody else like to do this? How about Brandon? You want to do it? Oh, it looks like Ian's going to take it.
Okay.
I have to. Please join us on our next episode where we hear feedback from you, our heroes. We shall be discussing Matt Mercer's Gunslinger Archetype.
Ooh. We'll have a special guest on our show, too.
We will. Who? You'll find out then.
Yeah, you won't know him.
No.
We're going to have a very special... I got this. We're going to have a very special guest with us during this Matt Mercer's Gunslinger Fighter Archetype. Our buddy Matt is going to be joining us.
Not Matt Mercer.
Why'd you got to add that in there? They don't need to know that. I said our buddy. Our buddy Matt is going to be joining us. No.
That's funny. I think Matt Mercer's our friend. that's hilarious. I wish it was our friend. It'd be great. If you have any feedback on our tips and tricks or topics you would like to discuss, please send them to us. You can email them to us at critacademy@gmail.com or find us on Twitter and Facebook at Crit Academy.
You know, did Matt Mercer make this Gunslinger Archetype before or after he played McCree in Overwatch?
Before.
Okay.
I think that's one of the character archetypes in the...
Pathfinder?
No, the... Well, it isn't Pathfinder. That's why he had to make it, because they were already like level 6 or 7 when they started Critical Role, and he transitioned their stuff over to the new stuff.
Yeah.
Anyways, we hope you enjoyed your experience here at Crit Academy. If you did, you can help others find our show by leaving a hopefully 5-star review on iTunes. Or you can just send us a message. Actually, I don't want to say that no more. Yeah. Or you can just send us a message telling us how much you enjoy the show.
Also, be sure to give us a like and a share.
If you want to support the show, we do have a Patreon account. So you can head on over to critacademy.com and click our little Patreon link. It's a monthly tier-based reward system where you get cool benefits for signing up and helping support the show. Brandon also does does art commissions, full body color art for $30. When did you say you were going to start that?
I was going to raise the price on January 1st.
Yeah, this will be out. Well, this will be out before then. Brandon's commissions for full body art will...
the price is changing. I haven't really decided on the prices yet, but I will post them on our site.
Yep. But for right now, as of this recording...
If you're a patron, then it is $20 for full body color.
Well, I'll just say this. Or you can pick up... you can commission Brandon to do you some wonderful, lovely art. You can find... some samples over at our Facebook page. Additionally, you can head on over to critacademy.com and check out pick up a t-shirt, buy some of the Amazon affiliate books and tools and stuff we have there, or you can buy our Unearthed Tips and Tricks book. That was really what we want you to do.
Yeah.
Check it out, $9.95. It's yours.
Give me money, give me money, give me money.
For all of you that... I do hope that if you do purchase our product and you enjoy it, please leave us a review on DM's Guild. It helps push the priority of our product up. So,
Yay.
I am your host, Justin.
Co-host Brandon.
I'm your co-host, Ian. Thanks for listening.
Keep your blade sharp and spells prepared, heroes.
Big Papa.
I'm curious. Did either one of you see that one YouTube clip that I posted the other day?
Which one?
It's like, well, since we mentioned using the environment...
No, I didn't, but I totally just realized I forgot to do the, damn it. I forgot,
Do.
Yep, I forgot it. I forgot to bring in, where the fuck is it?
Crap, which thread did I post it on? We have too many threads. That's us in some way, shape, or form.
What is it? What episode is this?
104.
104.
Dude, that Path of Exile. I was just telling him the new Path of Exile expansion puts you in the role of like a doctor. What am I doing? Or not a doctor, a detective. Oh, we are still streaming. Hi, guys. Sorry. Well, we'll see you guys later. Y'all have a great day.
Bye, everyone.